Hey everybody, welcome to the Elder of Rock. I'm here again with Rick Renstrom. I always point the wrong way, man. There's Rick Renstrom here. Of course, you know him from his live streams and all that good stuff, and he's got a solo album. Anyway, tonight we're talking about the Scorpions. The Scorpions. We're talking about a certain era of the Scorpions. Oh, first off, Rick, how's it going, man?
I'm doing all right, Steve. How you doing, man?
Yeah, yeah. I know. This is the first time we haven't talked to each other yet or anything. No, no, no.
I don't even know who you are. Who are you, man?
Who are you? What? Why are we here? but no. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk about the Scorpions now. Some of you may know the Scorpions from their hits like "Rock You Like a Hurricane" and "The Zoo" and "Loving You Sunday Morning" and "No One Like You." However, we're going to talk about an era that happened way before that. This featured a guitar player named Uli Jon Roth, who I'm sure Ricky, you want to say a few words about Uli Jon Roth?
Absolutely. Uli Jon Roth he's in my top three favorite guitar players of all time. I didn't, when I started playing guitar, I would never heard of him. I've heard Scorpions, obviously, because they were on MTV a lot, but I didn't know who Uli Roth was. My second guitar teacher, who was a GIT graduate, kind of introduced me to Uli. He showed me how to play the Sales of Charon solo, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I started to delve into Uli's stuff and buy everything there was that Uli was on, and embraced it, of course. So yeah, he's a massive influence on my playing. Of course, I do have the shirt here, the Earthquake
right on,
classic album. We're not going to be speaking of today, but yeah, amazing guitar player, amazing guy too. I did get to meet him in 2016, and that was quite a special moment for me. So I was very happy.
I bet.
And yeah, it was awesome. I could send you some pictures if you want to post them on here. But yeah, it's really cool, and yeah, a wonderful guy. Really soft spoken, gentle guy, and just super cool all the way on.
Nice, very good. Yeah, yeah, definitely very good. Sounds like that would have been cool. I never got to see him, live or anything yet. Anyway, but you never know what the future holds, and if he comes back around, maybe I can check him out. But anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna talk about Rick said Uli has some solo works out. We're going to talk about his work with the Scorpions, which is how he came to be known. He was the lead guitar player in that band. He wasn't on their first album, Lonesome Crow, but he was on from Fly to the Rainbow through Taken by Force, or Tokyo Tapes, I guess was actually the last album he did.
Yep.
He was actually on by them. So we're going to go through our favorite songs from that era, our top 10 from that era, and we'll see how our lists add up, or whatever.
Will we match? Will we match one? Match game.
Maybe we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what we'll see. We'll get like extra points for matching or something.
Yeah.
If we get three
Bonus
in a row,
point.
we win. I don't know.
My list is probably all over the place. Honestly, my list is crazy. Like it was so hard to categorize.
Huh?
It was so hard to just like number these. It was kind of like I did a top three, and then everything else was like, oh, whatever. I'm gonna just put them here.
Yeah,
but I tried. I tried. I really tried.
Yeah, it was hard. I had to move my list around a little bit. But yeah, definitely. So why don't you start off with your first three, your 10, 9, 8?
Okay, 10, 9, 8. So number 10, probably not a song that a lot of people remember or was popular. Maybe in some places it was, but it's called "Evening Wind." This song is like super melodic and bluesy. Not that I do it anymore, but it's one of those, you smoke some of that good stuff and listen to this song and vibe out, kind of stuff like that. And it's got that really insane solo, and he's got a amazing, kind of an anthemic singing melody at the end of the solo too, which is really cool. It's yeah, like I said, it's pretty rare.
Was on the album In Trance.
Yeah,
that was on the album In Trance. Yeah,
it's not a deep cut, but it's not one that everyone goes, yeah, listen to Evening Wind, bro. not everyone
yeah,
comments about that one, but
I'm
yeah,
not in my head right now, but, yeah, I'll check out the you check that out.
it's a nice
Yeah,
one. It's a real nice one. Different, like I said, it's very
cool.
bluesy and melodic. So, and I'll probably touch base on this again, but Uli's number one guitar player inspiration was Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix, 100%. Uli practically worshipped
Oh yeah,
the ground
yep.
Jimi Hendrix walked on. So he was there, very influenced by that. So yeah, number 10, Evening Wind. Number 9, Dark Lady. And this is a classic solo that he did. Super singing melody. The song itself is great too. It's really cool, kind of rocking song and heavy, a real kind of heavier for the Scorpions at the time. But yeah, it's a great one there. One of my favorites as well
Yep.
for sure.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's number 9, Dark Lady. Number 8, The Pictured Life. It was a classic. I mean, most if you know old Scorpions and you know Pictured Life, it's one of their
Yeah.
big
That
hits
was
back in the day.
that was one of my favorite songs by them, because the first album I got by them was Tokyo, for the Uli Roth era. It was Tokyo Tapes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like the second song on that. And yeah, I just love that song. That was a great. I never he said though for a long time like I thought he was saying "To Me Rock" or something like that. It's "Into the Rock." So
Yeah,
"Into the Rock." Da, da, well, for a long time, I had no idea what you. I thought I was too surprised. He was saying something like in German. Or something, I don't know. Yeah,
Pictured Life of Yesterday.
good point.
Klaus at his
Yeah,
finest on that one, but yeah, it's got that classic descending trill, like really cool,
yeah,
like very it's almost classical, if you will. So yeah, it's a great song and a great solo, and yeah, a fantastic one. I like that one. Pictured Life. So that's my three. That's my number 10, 9, and 8.
10-8. All right. So my number 10 is going to be from what album was that from? Let me make sure. Yes, was from this one, Flight of the Rainbow. Um, and that's going to be the Million. I like that's this song. I like the way it starts out with the acoustic guitar, kind of classical or flamenco or whatever he's doing. I like that, and then it goes into the lick in it. It's like sounds kind of Middle Eastern or something. That nee 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 nee. So that's always I always like that song. Good early song by them. And um, and then my next one, number 9, is going to be what album was this? I think it was off of In Trance as well. But it's going to be Longing for Fire.
Mm.
Um, I like this song. I like the guitar work in it, of course. The guitar work he does in it. I like just the song structure. And I was looking to see if um for Fire. Yeah, so this is one where Rudolph Schenker and Uli Roth wrote together actually. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, and so yeah, very cool, interesting song. Kind of reminded me for some reason it was the bass in it or something. It reminded me of Rush a little bit too. I had a little bit of a Rush
It
feel.
was progressive, yeah. It's a
Um,
kind of a progressive song.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then my number 8 is going to be one where Uli Roth sings on off of Virgin Killer, Hellcat.
Mm.
And this one is very good, very Hendrix like on
Oh
this
yeah.
one. And so cool, but I like the song. I like the vocal work on it. And what's interesting is that they put out an expanded version of Tokyo Tapes. I think in 2015 had a live version of Hellcat on it, and Klaus is doing parts of the song where Uli is kind of singing over himself in the studio version.
All right.
Klaus is singing. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool. So that's my 10, 9, 8.
All right. I think I might have that Tokyo Tapes revisited somewhere. When I met Uli, I got you get like a package of like a swag bag, all kinds of stuff, and I think there was that in there. I never opened it though, so uh,
Ah.
I'm never gonna open it. It's signed, so
Hey.
yeah. But
Maybe,
anyway,
yeah.
so we rocking and rolling here to 765. Okay, so
Yep. Yep.
number
765.
7, Speedy's Coming, a classic song.
All right.
It's like if back in that day, if you wanted to call it, whammy bar abuse, like a Hendrix style, or even crazier.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the solo
That,
he did in this
uh,
song. It was like insane. And it's just everything Uli does has got this singing tone to it. Like it's like his own voice. The guitar solos is like a voice, and it sings. And
yeah.
this one's such like that. And so it's a cool song too. And I don't remember where we were in Germany. I think in Hamburg. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember the guy he rolled up. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you know who I am?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "I'm Speedy from Speedy Coming." I was like, "Really?" And it's the guy
I think
like
I slightly remember that. Yeah.
he had like a book, and like he wrote a book like of every musician and band he ever met. It's like he was like a novel, and I was like, "Wow, man!" So I always remember that, man.
I'm a
Speedy's coming because
speed.
but he was in Hamburg, I think, if I recall, which is pretty
I
cool. But
kind of remember that. Yeah.
it was
Wow.
interesting. I was like, "Really?" I was like, "That's cool, man."
Yeah, that's a cool tune.
I never knew who that song was about. Now I know. So
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
that's
I always
cool.
wondered like that. I actually named a cat after that song. See, I didn't know what to, I had this cat. I didn't know what to name it, and the song came. Speedy's coming. I was like, ah, and my cat was running towards me. I was like, ah, Speedy's coming. So there
Perfect.
you go.
It makes sense. And cats are fast for sure. All
Yeah.
right. So let's see. We got number 6 on my list. It's going to be Polar Nights, which
Nice.
and I've touched on this earlier, but yeah, this is super Hendrix influenced. The song itself and the solo, it's just like so much. You can just hear the Hendrix in this playing, and how
Yeah.
much So someone like me who like listened to Uli Roth so much and learned so much Uli Roth or Ingve stuff like that, you hear that in my playing. This is where you hear the Hendrix influence, major influence in Uli's playing, and it's a cool song too. Not like some huge hit they ever had, but it's one of those like, man, this tune's cool, man. And but yeah, I love that one for sure. Let's see what's else. All right, no, so okay, number 5 is He's a Woman, She's a Man, and dude, I mean, this song right here is really cool. It's like a melodic shred fest. Really, it's very bluesy, and he does his whammy bar cranking out. But if you really listen to the solo, you can hear where a lot of guitar players of the future were definitely heard this, like Michael Denner and Hank Sherman from Merciful Fate. Like it's very, the start of that style of playing. So if you listen to those guys or King Diamond stuff, you can hear that influence. And people like Kirk Hammett and a lot of the guys, even Warren DeMartini was a huge Uli fan, which I did not know about until recently. But yeah, you can hear this solo was probably the one that kicked off a lot of influence for a lot of guitar players of the current age and 80s and 90s and stuff like that. But yeah, fantastic song too. It's a funny. I always thought the title was funny, and the lyrics and stuff was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
And the lyrics are kind of funny too. Yeah, it's yeah. They kind of did a sequel to that too on Animal Magnetism with "Don't Make No Promises Your Body Can't Keep." Something along those same lines. I always thought. Anyway, yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, good. Yeah, good one. That almost made my list. So far, we haven't matched up yet. But I
not
think we're gonna
yet.
match up.
Yeah,
So yeah,
something's getting close here. Something's getting close. It's getting close. But
yes. So cool. Was that your 5?
that was up to 5. Yeah, so we're
That
halfway.
was 5. Alrighty. So my next one is going to be off of Taken by Force. Going to be I've Got to Be Free, and this one is also I think a very Hendrixy
Yeah.
uh, type of song. The lead riff going in, starting it. Um, just very cool, and it does. It reminded me of a song that could have been done in the '60s. Just the way it is, the
Yeah.
lyrics. you know, I'm not your stepping stone and all that. That's it's just some reminds me of the '60s for some reason. Um, so then my next number six is going to be off of. Okay, this I guess this is off Inherence as well. Wait, did I? Sun in My Hand. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Sun in My Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool tune when he sings. No, again, Hendrixy, and I just love the little jam that happens at the end, the riff, and just goes off at the end. I think it's a very, very cool song. Always loved it, and um, yeah, so very cool. And then my next one is going to be also off of Taken by Force. It's called "The Riot of Our Time."
Mm.
Um, yeah, I like this. Taken by Force, man. When I first heard it, I couldn't believe uh, like how many songs I mean, just were really just good. I mean, it just a shame that was. It makes you just wonder, like, if they would have stayed together, what the next album would have been. It just because they seem to be really uh gelling on this album. With songs like that and just the interplay and everybody just seemed to be working together nice to enhance each other and it, but yeah, so right of our time though, I just love it. I'm not exactly sure what the lyrics are about. It's like the king of rock has gone to heaven, and it talks about 94, 95 if we're still half alive or something.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and something
That's
like
probably
that.
it's another deep cut for sure, man. That one there. It's like when you don't,
Yeah,
no one talks about, and that's what's cool.
yeah.
What we're doing is we're talking
and,
about it,
and, and another reason, because Uli didn't write this one, but his playing on it just makes it. I mean, some of even the stuff he didn't write, this they still wouldn't have sounded the same without his guitar playing. Even if he didn't write it, you could the way he played the stuff anyway was very distinct, and it just wouldn't have been the same. If they didn't let him do what he wanted on it, instead of telling him, no, I wrote this and you got to do this. You could tell they let him have free reign on even the stuff that he didn't write. They let him kind of do what he wanted.
yeah.
So, and, and
That's
yeah,
why I think that's why
that's
he went
my
on. He went to his
five.
solo thing because he just wanted to go. I don't think he was in the with the vision of what they wanted to do after the last album he did. It's like, yeah, and he
Yeah,
wanted to do
probably.
his
Yeah,
own
I mean,
thing. He wanted to be free.
well, I think they
So
got
there
dropped
you
by
go.
their label as well. I think their label they
Yeah.
dropped, and so he probably also was wondering, yeah, what the future might hold, and maybe this is a good time to jump and worked out well and for both of them, especially the Scorpions, but it
Yeah.
worked out well for him too because he ended up doing what he wanted, and being a soloist,
Yeah.
and that's
And
cool.
he's happy. But yeah, the Scorpions
He did say he
continued
was
on
kind
to
of
have
unhappy.
a
I remember reading an article about, yeah, he continued on to that, and but I remember reading an article where he said he was unhappy. He was like drinking like a lot of whiskey during the last tour with the Scorpions, and he just wasn't
mm,
feeling very happy with it. So yeah, 4-3-2.
getting closer. Getting closer.
Yeah,
All right. So number 4. It's now this is what people talk about. It's a classic. It's the title track of an album, In Trance. I miss this solo. Apart from the song, of course, the solo is like one of his most melodic solos with the Scorpions, I think. And if you listen to it
yeah,
closely, and then you listen to his solo stuff later on, this is like a taste of what he's gonna do with his solo albums. The style of playing that he does on here. I mean, it's just amazing. The song's fantastic. I did get to see him. He did play this live. I think I want to say it was in. I thought it was in Orlando when I saw him. I can't remember honestly. Orlando or Clearwater. I want to say Orlando somewhere. But man, yeah, I was just live on record. This song is just so powerful, and the solo itself is even more powerful. The way he makes the guitar talk and speak. It's just unbelievable. One of my faves for sure. Number
yeah.
3.
That's a song.
Oh,
That's
go
a
ahead.
song. I think. Well, that's a song that I think that um if it could have been Pusher, it could have been a big hit for them in those days. I don't. I mean, it just has hit all over it, and just
Yeah.
goes
Oh
to show
yeah.
you if you don't have the right,
I mean, what was that?
it's different. I
1976.
mean, a lot of other songs were like that in the day back there in the '70s when they were, in that's like what's that 76, 77, and I don't know. There was other bands that had hits very similar, and just goes to show you if you don't have the right push,
Yeah. I
just.
don't.
But I thought that
I,
should have been a hit for them,
Yeah,
you know.
I like I was like 5, 6 years old, so I had no idea what the Scorpions were and what FM radio even was. I only
Oh no,
knew
I
of
know.
AM
No, I
radio.
just think
So
that like
so but I don't but yeah, I don't know if they were
yeah,
being pushed in America at all at the time, like they were in the 80s.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's what I mean. It's like
yeah,
like yeah. I mean, I know I didn't hear from Scorpions about this, but I just thought when I heard it, I was like, why was this ever a hit for them? It
mhm.
just should have been.
It might have done
Besides that
something in
all,
Europe. It might, I'd have to look. You have to look on like Wikipedia. I don't know what the charts were like over there, but yeah, I don't remember ever hearing about the Scorpions or anything like that until because I knew of Kiss and I knew Deep Purple and all these bands like that.
yeah,
But then it wasn't until the '80s, when you like was it No One Like You video came on MTV and it was like,
yeah,
oh, who are these guys? This is cool, and then
yeah.
you
A friend
you
of
learn
mine
there's a
had yeah. I first heard of Scorpions. A friend of mine had Animal Magnetism, and it's like I mean, I thought that was a great album. Great metal album. And then I can't remember. That might have been the first album I got. And then I think I got Love Drive, and I kind of worked back, and I
mm,
got Tokyo Tapes, and I was like, wow, this is really different than what I've been listening to. And then it took me a while to get all this, and then I got these two best of compilations. But and I'll talk about those in a second. But yeah, so yeah, cool.
nice. So that was for In Trance. Got to check that one. All right, number 3. Now we're getting into the big stuff here, the real big stuff.
Yeah.
So for number 3, and this was a tough one between 2 and 3, and like, well, this could be 2, but this all could be 2. The other song could be 2. I don't know. But number 3 for me on this list is "Catch Your Train." I mean,
Ah,
I think this song right here is one of the is if not one of the biggest influencers for so many of the 80s guitar players. You just had the kind of the solos intertwined with the vocals, and he's just letting loose, man. And then when he gets to his main solo, I mean, he's just ripping it up. I mean, this is like I don't think anyone was doing stuff like this in rock guitar or
yeah,
whatever. And you can clearly hear in this song that like
yeah. No, and
Ingve, yeah, so many people were influenced by this guitar solo. And this is
yeah,
1976. When it came out, and it's like, I mean, someone like Al Di Meola was in 1976, but doing something completely different. This was rock and heavy rock, and no one was doing this at the time.
no, yeah. And
So it's
and
like,
just shredding. It's just yeah, no, yeah. I know Van Halen when they were doing covers, they used to cover this song.
oh
I remember
wow,
hearing that. It would have been interesting hearing Eddie Van Halen. There could be a recording maybe somewhere. I don't know. Maybe on YouTube or something. Um,
dude, that'd be wild to hear.
of that of like a boombox recording of them doing it.
Right.
You know, yeah, it would be interesting though to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard that Eddie was influenced by Uli at all, but I mean, I don't, I'm not the know it all of Eddie Van Halen's information, so but that'd be sick. I know he's played a lot of. I knew he was into Richie Blackmore. I do know that, but yeah, I never heard him into Uli, so that'd be really cool to hear because
Yeah, yeah,
Eddie could play any best about anything, so it'd be pretty interesting. If you find
yeah.
it, let me know. Send me the link. I
You
want to
might
check
have
it out.
heard him
Anyone
for
in
a while
the
now.
world,
Yeah,
yeah, anyone watching this video, if you know where that is, you post that up on this. You comment about that one because I want to see that for sure. But
yeah,
yeah,
definitely, yeah,
but that after my guitar teacher showed me some stuff. This is another song that he pointed me to. He's like, "Oh, this one. This is the one right here." And you listen to it, it's like, man, he's just doing so much. There's so much going on for the time and for a guitar player. I don't think anyone or near him could match that. So pretty sweet,
yeah,
amazing, a cool song as well. really cool song, real kind of
Yeah.
grooving and fast paced. So I love that one.
Yeah.
Catch your train. And he's talking about the life of whiskey cola or something. I don't even know the lyrics, but I always hear like something about whiskey cola, or
Right.
I'm like,
Um,
what are you, a
that doesn't make
rockarola and a
sense.
whiskey cola? And I was like, what is he talking about? I could
Yeah.
never get I never found the lyrics, or I never looked at the
Let me
lyrics.
see if let me see if it's right here.
I thought the lyrics were funny. I was like,
Um,
what is he talking about? What's the song even mean? I just like, where's the guitar solo? That was my thing.
I guess I don't. Wait.
I Funny lyrics though. Great solo. Good
Absolutely.
song nonetheless for sure.
But
So,
yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
So
definitely.
with
About when I first heard that song, I was like, "Oh wow," yeah. That
yeah,
was it blew me away. The guitar work blew me away. Yeah.
yeah, that was phenomenal
So
work there. So, but an easy and again now my number one and number two, which we'll get to in a moment. That was also a painful fix, because everyone knowing me, like, oh, I know what his favorite Uli solo is, yeah, from Scorpions. I know that. No, you don't. But they're staying close. But yeah, number two is going to be
yeah,
Sales of Charon. I mean, it could easily be number one for sure. But if you really look at the Scorpions, when we get to number one, we'll talk further. But yeah, I think it's one of his best uh, and well known solos of all time. In Africa,
yeah.
it's the best intro ever of a song. Of a song back then, and of course, most everyone that knows who Uli is, or
Yep.
it's been covered several times. People on YouTube, there's tons of people that play the cover. I play it sometimes on my
Ingve
live
covered it.
stream.
Right? Did Ingve do a cover?
Yeah, I do.
Did
I did
Ingve
a
do a
little.
cover of that?
Ingve did a cover of that on that
Inspiration.
Inspiration album. Yeah, it's called
Inspiration.
Inspiration. Yeah,
Yeah.
Inspiration. It has like tons of cover songs that he does. His tribute to his bands. But yeah, Sales Caron's on one of those. It's pretty sweet too. Pretty cool.
Wow.
I think Jeff Scott Soto's singing on that one, if I recall correctly. But
Wow.
yeah, I think
Yeah, I
that's the
remember hearing
solo
that.
right there. I mean, that's the solo right there that really kind of sparked neoclassical shred. It just had from the
Yeah.
diminished art, kind of run he does at the beginning, and then his just incredible descending line. It's got so much going on in that it's like every piece of that is like a piece of neoclassical guitar at its beginnings. So, but yeah, of course, it's one of my favorite songs for sure. It's hard to say. Yeah, it's not. It's my favorite of all time. It's one of my favorites for sure. It's probably
Yeah.
the one I know the most and know the best out of all these. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Number one
Yeah.
is a lot different than you might expect.
Yeah, because I thought I knew what it was going to be, and so yeah, you surprised me.
Yeah.
Surprised me there, but that's cool. That's cool. I'm being with that. Cool. All right. So now we're coming into some matching territory a little bit.
All right.
As you've already talked about, but my number four is going to be Dark Lady.
Okay.
I've
Yep.
always loved the like everything that you mentioned about it, the guitar work and everything. I also like the vocal interplay between him and Klaus
Yeah.
on this song. Just love the shared vocal. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I always thought that was pretty cool. And then number three we talked about, of course, already. Pictured Life.
Yeah.
Uh, Great. Another song I think that if it would have been pushed right, could have been a hit for them. It's just very catchy. I mean, that was a song that was like an earworm for me. Like when I first heard
Yeah.
it, I couldn't get it out of my head. It was
I was like this.
so
I
it
don't
was
want to say it's like
and it's
kind of that reggae shuffle to it. Dun, dun,
like
dun,
kind of
dun,
reggae or
dun, dun.
something.
Yeah, it's like a reggae shuffle, but
Yeah,
still
that's
rocked out.
that's what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, like yeah, that's what I mean. It's like why that's a song just seems just like a song that could have been like you said, maybe in Europe it was. I don't know. It could have been in Germany or Europe or something. But and then let's see. So yeah, so number two, we of course we just talked about it. Catch Your Train. Um, great guitar work.
Yeah.
I like, and also, we're not. I don't mean it, and by talking about Yuli, we don't mean to be discounting any of the other members of the band because I also like Klaus's vocals on this,
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. I thought that was really good, very good vocals. Made kind, helps make the song. So yeah, so there's my number two, "Catch Your Train." So let me hear your number
Nice.
one.
All right, get ready, get ready.
This is
So,
number.
obviously, this is on a recorded song and album, but I chose the live version from the Tokyo tapes, which he pretty closely plays. Um, but it's going to be "Will Burn the Sky." I mean, for those that have never heard this song or this
Okay.
solo, it's a jaw dropping epic solo with like tons of melody and emotion. I mean, it's honestly genius, really, and I think it truly predates his solo material. I don't know if you ever heard like Firewind, the song Firewind off his solo albums. It's like at the ending
Yeah.
is just him doing this insane, awesome solo, and this is very similar, where it's just like Uli and the band, and it's just like going to the end, and he is just playing so much in this song. Even the album version is great too, but I mean what he did on the Tokyo tapes live version is just
No, I
like
agree. I agree. Yeah.
he was on another plane or something. It was like astral skies, man, for sure. And that one, it's like wow. So yeah, I think it'd be a
Yeah.
surprise. It would be a surprise for people to know that that's yeah. I think that's probably his greatest Scorpion solo, even though something like Sales of
I
Charon
could.
is
Yeah.
one of the
I
most
could hear
well
that. Yeah. I
known.
could quite say that. Yeah.
He's had a
Yeah.
lot
There's
of
a ripping
gems,
solo.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
gems that I don't think were
Yeah.
like huge hits or like super popular. I mean, only for like people that were totally into it would know. But people that have never heard that or want to get into Scorpions with Uli Roth, I mean, these tunes that we've covered are just right up in there, man, right up in there. But yeah, "We'll Burn the
Yeah.
Sky" is just it's one of my favorite songs. I don't talk about it too often, but yeah, when you say, "Well, let's do a top 10," it's like, you know what? All right, I'll put it out there this time for real because it's like it'd be a hard solo
Uh-huh.
to learn. There's just so much going on. Like "Sales of Charon" is like, okay, we got this part, this part, this part, this part, this part, nice and easy. But this is like he is just going everywhere with this thing. I don't think I've ever heard any guitar. Or I've never looked, but it's never popped up that I've seen a guitar player try and just do that solo note for note or as close to note as possible
Yeah.
on YouTube or anywhere place else. So it's that it sounds that difficult. It sounds difficult to match, but yeah, fantastic nonetheless.
And wasn't that co-written by Jimi Hendrix's girlfriend or something?
Monica
Was
Danneman,
that right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's she was
Monica Dan,
really
yeah,
good.
which became Uli's girlfriend as well
For a while,
thereafter.
right? And then yeah. Um. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, so yeah, it was definitely I definitely hear. Yeah, I can definitely understand why you would pick that because that is a really good solo. Um. Definitely. I could hear. Yeah. Definitely. But alrighty. So my number one then is we just talked about it. It's gonna be was your number two, but I put it at number one for me, and that's Sales of Quran, which for the longest time I thought it was Sales of Charon,
Me too.
but
Me too.
then everybody said no, it's Quran. It's like, oh, okay.
That's what my
Yeah,
guitar
he
teacher
thought that
says. He
too.
he's
I thought it
like,
was sales,
yeah, he was like, my guitar teacher was like,
sales of
"Hey, you got to
Sharon.
learn this Sales of Sharon." I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, man, Sales of Sharon, you
Sales of
got it, man. Awesome." And what's funny is I did a video. Maybe I did, I played the solo on my live stream and I clipped it and made a
Yeah.
YouTube short about it. I called it, Sharon wants to speak to the manager. Like Karen wants to speak to the manager. So pretty funny, but yeah. But it took me a while to understand. Oh yeah, it is Karen, yeah, for sure.
It's correct. Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, so that was yeah. The other thing about this song is that for I didn't know like Taken by Force existed for after I got into Scorpions. I knew all their I got like Flight of the Rainbow. Well, one reason because the first album I then after that Tokyo Tapes I got this one, Best of
Mhm.
Scorpions, and this ended up being Volume 1. But so it has like all the songs listed, all the albums, no Taken by Force. Sales of Quran is on here. And I just thought, oh, it's just this must be an unreleased song or something that they put on this album. And I didn't know for a long time. And then even when they came out with, 'cause I think it wasn't available in the U.S. for a long time. Taken by Force. I don't think it.
The cover was they've
There was,
they've had some
yeah, the cover was a
issues with
graveyard,
covers.
like a
I
yeah, that
have
was
it.
original
Yeah,
cover was a graveyard, like a like a graveyard or
yeah,
something with a bunch of crosses.
yeah. And
I
there's
think
a
it was
guy
like
with a
it
gun,
looked like it might have been a soldier's graveyard or something like that.
and a guy with
Military
a
cemetery, yeah,
pistol. I think it
crosses.
is. Yeah, I have that.
Yeah,
I found it in
yeah.
Europe when we were in Europe one time. I found a copy of that and I picked it up. Um, yeah, they've had their cover issues for America, but I believe that particular cover was banned for a while for some odd reason, maybe because of the war or something. Who knows? But yeah, but it's still available out there. You can find it somewhere.
Definitely is out there. But anyway, so what I was gonna say is that then with this album, then I got this album, Best of Volume 2, which is another Yuli era, and this had like stuff, but nothing from Taken by Force on it, nothing on it at all. So
Weird.
it wasn't until years later that it's like I, it's like, oh, that's where Sales of Quran is off of, Taken by Force. Okay, this is the album. This is the album, and it's weird because that's the album they're touring behind for Tokyo Tapes. They're so even though did they yeah they play Steam Rock Fever and will burn the sky off of this one, and she's a woman, he's a woman, she's a man. And Suspender Love, which was a bonus track on here. I guess it was a single.
I remember that Suspender
But
Love.
yeah, so it's like but yeah, so that's just the weird thing about Taken by Force with me is like as an album I didn't know existed for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't own it forever. I mean, my guitar teacher he made me a tape of like all the bunch of songs, a bunch of cool Uli songs, but I don't know. It took me a while to get my collection. I mean, it's really started with all the Uli solo stuff. Is what I started buying first, because he gave me this tape of Scorpion stuff, so I started buying, like Beyond the Astral Skies and Fire, Wind, and Earthquake.
Oh, I love that.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's what I was really digging into, and then over the years thereafter, I started to be able to find more of the old Scorpion stuff and listen to it more and more. And nowadays, I just have it all on my phone, my iTunes and stuff. So I got all the old classic Uli records and Scorpions records and stuff on there. So it's nice to have nowadays. But yeah, I've got a couple really
Yeah.
old rare Scorpion. I have like a leather bound. I want to say it was a Taken by Force, and I have the original cover with the
Oh wow.
graveyard scene somewhere around here in a closet.
Uh huh.
I don't even have a CD player anymore. Honestly, I got a USB CD player
Oh yeah.
DVD thing. It's like I have nothing around here that has a CD in it anymore. So I just keep all that stuff locked away essentially in the closet. But yeah, I was able to
I
pick up
still
some
have a
wild
CD
stuff.
player. I still have a turntable, and I actually have a VHS.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
need
of
one of
fun
those.
to have that.
Yeah, I've been looking. I need one. I need one. Got some weird old
But I
videos.
mean,
I
it's
don't even know
like
what's on
you
them.
don't have
That's cool,
it's
man.
all
Yeah,
going
there's
there. Cool. All right, well there you go. There's our top 10 Scorpions Uli Jon Roth era. Want to thank Rick for coming out. Rick, got going on? What you got happening? Just the live streams and
yeah. Right now, just doing some live streams on YouTube only. Right now, Wednesday nights at 9 and Saturday nights at 10. Wait, I got that backwards. Wednesday nights at 10, Saturday nights at 9. So yeah,
right on.
that's about it right now. And just continuously putting out videos. I'm trying to make real, big videos, like longer videos and stuff like that. And time is not in my friend right now. A lot of the day goes by too quick.
Oh,
I
I
need
hear
another
you,
8
man. I
hours
know,
in the day.
But anyway, so yeah, so there you go. Our top 10 Scorpions. Thank you, Rick, again.
Thank you.
And that's the Elder of Rock. And we will see you soon. Thank you.
The elder